Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to another clip from the club. Hope you guys are doing well. And remember, we are sponsored by the wonderful people at Super 6. And we want you guys to do us a massive favor. Head over to all their social media accounts at Super 6. Follow them on them. And of course, send them a little message saying the club sent you. We want to see loads of you doing that. So it helps us out, helps them out, and helps you out as well. So get on it. Do that for us and enjoy this clip.
You're watching a clip from the club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go. Here's a lovely clip from our podcast. What we need to do is rank every team's Premier League season from A star to F, like how you did at school.
This is going to be a little bit like the Premier League table.
Yes.
A lot of it is going to be like
yeah, it's going to, yeah. You're going to see like...
you're going to see A, Man City, and obviously there's going to be...
We're starting with Bournemouth.
Yeah, they're an A.
A.
They're an A
Do we
star.
do A star, A plus, or A star?
Why?
There is whatever the top threshold of this
We'll do
barometer
A
is.
plus then.
A plus. They've been amazing. Haven't they?
Gary O'Neill definitely got an A star in it. Fulham.
They've had a good season. They've slightly exceeded expectation. I'd give them a B.
Yeah, B plus for me.
I think they tailed off a little bit towards the end, and they probably could have been where like Brighton were trying to get top four. What didn't help them was that Mitrovic suspension. I thought it was a bit uncalled for.
But I think most people thought that they were going to be relegated, and the fact that they weren't even close to being relegated is a huge achievement for them.
Yeah, huge. What did you give them? B?
B.
I think that's fair. Newcastle, A?
Yeah, it's an A season, isn't it?
It's an A plus
they're in
for
the
me.
Champions League, yeah.
They've got Champions League football. No one expected them to get Champions League football.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's punching above his weight. I think they're currently punching above their weight. Scary thing is they've got the money to invest, and with Champions League football now, that brings different, avenues for them.
And expectation, though, and pressure. And it's not always... It doesn't necessarily mean that the trajectory continues upwards. But I do agree. It's been an amazing season for them. And the fact that they're in the Champions League, sensational work from everyone involved. A star.
Wolves. I'd have to go D,
They're not relegated, though.
No.
Which is
They've got
good.
no one. They've got no
Wolves are a
quality.
side that have been on the verge of European football a lot.
They're also a side that when
They're also a side that have some incredible talent in their team, the likes of Moutinho, Neves. Like some top 6 teams would die for them.
when that
in midfield.
Lopetegui took over, a lot of people thought they were going down. Do you remember they couldn't score any goals?
Lopetegui was a fantastic coach, though.
But a lot of people,
he came,
a lot of people
13th,
thought.
it's not a
That's what I'm
team.
saying. When he took over, a lot of people thought that they were going down.
But that would have been a surprise if Wolves went down. Like Wolves are a team that have got European
They
football.
couldn't score
they've
any
got some top
goals. They
players.
signed Diego Costa, which felt like a wild stab in the dark.
Crazy.
Like one of my overriding memories of the season. Have you seen? I think it's at Goodison Park. Have you seen a clip of Diego Costa trying an overhead kick?
Yeah, he just...
Mate, he looks like 68. Do you know, genuinely, it looks like a 68-year-old trying to do...
He's
like,
gone.
bearing in mind, I've seen him score goals from using his agility.
He's gone.
He's old. He's old.
It's
But
probably
he's
the
not
worst
old,
transfer
but
ever.
yeah, I mean, it didn't work.
It's not a D though, is it?
No, it's not a D.
Just C.
It's a
boring.
C.
It's a boring C.
I think it's a D.
They're safe, which is...
Considering the manager got...
13th is a good season for Wolves.
Lopetegui is a very good manager. He's better than 10 managers at least.
And he's the Wolves manager.
And you're below...
They've had a good season.
You're in the bottom half.
They're 13th. They're not a top 10
When he took
side.
over, they were going down.
They don't deserve to be a top... They're 13th. They're only top half side.
I'm sorry, but if Brentford and Brighton are above you, Wolves should be top.
Yeah, but he hasn't been there the whole
recruitment they've had
season.
over
Give me
the
a
years.
good... Give me a
Yes, but
quality player.
We're not doing him. We're doing Wolves. We're not... This isn't a rating for Lopetegui.
I think D would be like close to going down, and they're not close to going down. Like if
Everton or D when we get to them.
F.
Everton.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Wolves it's a boring scene. They're the most boring club in the league now.
You know, if Wolves were 15th, I'd go D. But the fact that they're higher up than that,
They were 15th for a lot of the season. We're moving on anyway. We've got disagreements here. Let us know your thoughts on this. I mean, Wolves fans might have a better opinion on it. Southampton, easy this, isn't it? When you look at the talent that they've got, I thought their recruitment, whilst it looked good with the likes of Lavia and stuff, they brought in way too many young players.
Young.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I think you're trying to turn a profit.
maybe.
Bring in players young and then sell them when they're good and older.
And now you've gone to the Championship, you're going to be very hard to get profit.
Good riddance. It's a youth for
It
me.
might stand them in good stead to come back, though.
If they keep him.
If
They
they
won't
can
keep Lavia. They won't keep any
No,
of them.
they might not keep him, but if they can keep the nucleus of the squad, I think out the three going down,
They've also
I think
got a good
Southampton
academy.
most likely to come back.
Really?
Yeah, they've got a good academy as well.
No.
They're probably a team best setup for Championship out of all
Yeah, to
those?
stay in the Championship.
No,
come
to
up.
get out.
Not for me.
To get out. Okay, that's fair enough. So what did you rate him? F?
You.
On
F, on a
unattended?
scale of F.
No, use it on use it the worst, isn't it?
That doesn't that mean unclassified? Doesn't that mean
Unattended.
I'll
you
go
did it at 10,
D
wasn't
minus then.
I'll go F.
Yeah, F minus.
F.
Yeah, all these minuses, just use a letter.
Brentford?
Very good season.
Just missed out on European
missed out on
football
Euro.
by 2 points.
They got European football. I'd have given them an A,
Yeah.
but it has to be a B.
But that's a very good season. I mean, they stayed clear of potential relegation.
Second season
issues.
syndrome's a real thing. They lost
Yeah.
Ericsson.
Yeah, they
know,
lost Ericsson.
That could have really hit them hard.
Could be a difficult
Could be a
season for them
difficult
next
season
season
next
without
year.
even Tony. Crystal Palace.
Not a good season. A good flourish,
Finish
but not a
them.
good season.
Roy Hodgson's era was pretty good.
Over the course of the
period, yeah.
season, that Vieira era was like gash, wasn't it? For the beginning of this year, calendar
You're
year,
going like with the Palace, you're going like an E,
I think it's a bad season overall.
D
Like,
minus, E.
I think it's a
kind of thing.
D. Like they've survived. They've finished with a flourish, but it was turgid under
They actually
Vieira
finished
for
11th.
months. It was turgid.
11th.
Mid-table.
The reason it's a bad season is because Vieira didn't work and they don't have a long... getting Hodgson out for 6 months, it's like, where'd you go from
They
here?
sat too tight on Vieira for too long. They needed to sack Vieira earlier.
But they brought in Hodgson, who's a short-term...
Yeah, they're back to square one now, aren't they?
They
really?
have no idea
Yeah.
where to go
They're back to square one. And is there a world where they could persevere?
with Hodgson. Yeah, I would. But it's
No.
Of course.
No.
If he stays next season, which I think
They
remains
won't go
to be
down,
seen,
basically.
they will not get relegated next season.
Which is success.
They were fantastic in the last few months. They were fantastic, ripping
How
teams
old is
apart.
he, bro?
He's 74.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and I don't think... If I'm him, do I want to... It's up to him. If he can help, there've been older managers.
I rate
Mate, there's older
I hope
presidents. There's older
Tony was old.
I hope I've still got that in me.
Joe
at
Biden's
74.
78.
Yeah, there's older president.
He's the leader of the free
But
world.
there's a reason people said we shouldn't have a president at 78 years old.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You know what I
there's a
mean?
lot of people saying that.
I feel like that should be the same with a Premier League manager.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't agree with this ageism.
It's not ageism.
Yeah, but what
I
is
mean,
it then? Because you're not being able to actually prove that you're
you've
not
hinted
a
at
good manager.
Managers should be at least a medium to long term job. If Roy Hodgson comes in, you're not getting more than a season out of him.
I think that's what they need. I think they need to just survive year by year and do whatever it takes to
Okay,
survive
that's
year
fair
by
enough.
year.
Yeah,
And if Roy Hodgson keeps him up for another 12 months, then Roy Hodgson is the answer. If he doesn't,
Yeah.
then he's not the answer. But I think they should just look at it like that. Because
I think you just put a drip in his arm and wheel him out every week into the Selhurst Park
does he keep him up?
Got to do with it.
to keep him alive, keep him going. Do you know what I mean? He is old, isn't he? Sorry, it's a bit crude, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, keep him up. You know.
Get the
Keep him
minerals.
going. You know what I mean? Put a broom up his backside, whatever the saying is. You know, prop him up and get him on the bench. You know.
So what are we saying? D minus?
No, for God's sake.
No, they finished.
D.
They finished 11th.
This is Crystal Palace we're talking about. It's a B,
I think
isn't
it's a
it?
C or a B, yeah.
It's a B.
C. Manchester City.
It's an A. They won
It's
the
an A
league.
and an A plus.
They won the league, and in the end, they won the league with games to spare out of canter. In the end, they pissed the league.
Yeah.
Beat
Like, it
Arsenal
wasn't-
home and away as well.
In the end, it wasn't even a title race by the end. When it really mattered, there
How
was no
right was
title.
Gary Neville, by the way? Jesus.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah, and you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You
No,
as
I
well.
feel that,
To be fair, I supported you on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I love when he's on the like winded people up, that aren't me or you. It's great.
Me too.
Everton next. I would tend to go with a D minus/E here.
Everton. Yeah, I think it's an atrocious season.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dyche has done well. I think it's going to be positioned that Dyche came in and saved them. But I think we need to look a little bit beyond that. He did, but they stayed up because Leicester got battered by Fulham, and they stayed up because Leeds missed an open goal in the last minute against Leicester. Like,
You say that, but then I know they had games at home where you expect them to win. I think they lost against Fulham at home or something like that. But also they beat Brighton 5-1.
Boo, can you get the league table? Like, how many points did Everton finish the season on? Like, how many points?
It was
I'm looking, bro. 36.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's appalling.
That's less than a draw every game. You know what I mean? It's poor. It's poor.
That is relegation as well. Point a game gets you down.
Yeah.
And they haven't even got
40
point.
gets you.
They haven't
36 relegates you what? 80% of the Premier League history.
Yes.
36 points. Everton Football Club. That's shocking.
Yeah.
They
Really is.
won 8 games all season. That's actually they won less games than Leicester City. You know what I mean? So 12 draws.
They won 8 games all season.
you got them to win 4 games. Sean Dyche has won 4 games as Everton manager against Arsenal, Leeds, Brentford, and Bournemouth.
And he's been there for a long
But his
time.
draws
Sorry,
kept them
Brighton
going.
and Bournemouth. Sorry, yeah. So There's 5 games.
The draws kept them alive.
Only one of those away from home against Brighton.
And also, like, they beat Arsenal. That was circumstance, wasn't it?
Really, it's the first game.
The first ice day.
The buzz around the ground and all that.
Leicester, F.
Yeah.
Tottenham, E.
F.
Embarrassing.
They're not even in Europe, are they?
No.
Pathetic. They've got a fancy stadium.
And they've got the best striker, arguably the best striker in the league, who scored 30 goals, and they're still there.
Yeah.
Like, where would they be without him? Well, we'll find out next year.
Hopefully.
We might do.
He stays,
Brighton,
Good
B.
season. Brilliant season.
A.
got European football.
They got better. They got raided. They lost Cucurella. They lost their manager. Remember, Cucurella was their player of the year. They lost the boy at Tottenham, Basuma.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gone on to look even stronger, even better. Their recruitment is unbelievable. They're the best run club in the country. Tony Bloom is a mastermind. I love their manager. I'd have that deserving. I love him. I love the way he conducts himself.
Yeah, he's top level.
I'm giving him an A. I don't care what you say. I'm giving him an A.
I think he's right. I think you're right. I think you're bang on. So yeah, A for Brighton, and then we've got Nottingham Forest. Remember,
good end of season, bad season overall, I think.
Yeah, I think
D.
D.
I was confident to stay up though, and you've got to remember this is a team that weren't supposed to come up, kind of like Luton.
Yeah.
And they had to bring in all those players, and for the manager to kind of settle things down, I think they made a good decision early. You know how like with Leeds, they were kind of, we'll get Garcia in, Avi Garcia or whatever his name is, and Sam Allardyce, like they were like, is your contract?
Yeah,
he's staying.
this is our man.
Like the dressing room know who your boss is.
And when everything was going wrong, didn't they give him another contract? Do you remember when it looked like he was going to get sacked and they gave him a contract? Yeah.
So I think,
bold,
they
very
did really well there. They've stayed up. I think it's a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Liverpool?
Dreadful season.
Yeah.
D.
Dreadful. D. It's not a million miles away from...
They rescued it by getting some form of European football, because at one point it did look...
No.
Like they were going to be Chelsea.
They shouldn't be a Europa League side. You know, they really shouldn't be. And the big thing is, last season, they were on for a quadruple. This is serious.
Everything that we've said about Tottenham is applicable to Liverpool, but it's just the expectations are different. Everybody thought that Liverpool, off the back of the season before, where they looked like they could win a quadruple, were going to launch a serious bid for the title. They've fallen so short of that. It's the same as everyone thinking Tottenham were going to finish in the top 4. Tottenham have finished so short of that. I think, what did we give Tottenham?
F.
D, don't we? Or D or E?
F. I think Liverpool perhaps slightly better than that then.
E.
Yeah.
D
E.
minus.
How can it not be? Like what? Okay,
From their standards.
They won the Champions League a few years ago in the Europa League.
If I'm being too harsh, tell me why.
No, I don't think you are.
No, you're not.
Oh, sorry, I thought you thought I was.
I agree. No.
If anybody, maybe
They won the Champions League a few years ago, and now they're in the Europa League, and they got the same squad. I mean,
and
they
they
lost
Salah
Mane.
scoring goals.
They signed 85 million quid Nunes. They got the best manager in the world for a lot of people, pound for pound, or him behind Guardiola. So, Leeds
appalling. Leeds appalling.
Who was their manager at the start of the season?
Oh, the
that
American
fella.
geezer, Marsh.
Marsh. Yeah.
Jesse Marsh.
Yank Lampard.
Yeah.
He's better than Lampard. That's how bad it is for Lampard.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez, that was this season.
Yeah.
Leeds get an F.
They get an F for me, and they'll struggle to come back up next season.
I think so.
They'll lose
Got
Bamford.
so wrong there.
They'll lose Bamford to a Premier League club, and
I don't think
they'll
Leeds are
struggle.
scared about losing Bamford.
Bamford won't. They'll hound him out.
I don't think Leeds are scared of that.
No.
In fact, I think Leeds want to get rid of him.
someone. They'll do well to find someone who wants him.
Yeah.
Like, but they want everyone
He'll
out.
score
don't they?
25 goals in the Championship next season.
Yeah, but for Leeds maybe.
Yeah.
But he's not. You said a Premier League club.
No, but he just said Leeds fans want him out. No, they want to keep him.
No, they want him out. They don't.
The reason
like
I
him.
said that is because he missed a crucial
They
transfer.
blame him for
Fine,
relegation,
fine.
and they're not wrong.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, we win this prize, don't we? Whatever the what do you call it? A glass ceiling with like how high something, right? This is the basement. This is as low. Whatever your lowest grade is, this is it. Like Chelsea have been
12th.
embarrassment.
44 points, 10 more points than relegated Leicester. Those 10 points, by the way, Tuchel got. You're lucky you got them. 38 goals scored, 47 conceded.
It's our lowest ever. In fact, we got a point today, so maybe it's not. It's nearly our lowest ever points tally.
One win in your last 14 games.
Bearing in mind that there was a season where we played Sheffield United on the last day of the season, and Mark Stein scored 2 goals to keep Chelsea in the Like, we thought we could go down that season. We didn't. We stayed up. We got 1 more point this season than that season. You know, that's how low we've fallen. This is definitely the most unenjoyable season that I've ever had following the club. It's definitely the biggest chasm between the fans, the board, the players, like all feeling the same. Like there is such disharmony at the club. It's a poisonous place to be. And you know, this has all happened within 12 months of the new ownership. It's amazing how new owners can come in and totally destabilise the entire framework that was set up for excellence.
I think Pochettino's the manager you need.
I really don't. I hope you're right, but I really don't.
I think like when you look at the frameworks he worked within at Spurs and the difficulties that he would have had with the board and Daniel Levy,
totally different.
I think if you look at Todd Bowley, he's got difficulties with them, although they're happy to spend. And I think he's a great coach. And that's why I think, like we were having this debate about Chelsea earlier, I think he get top 4 next season because I think he's a great coach.
I agree.
And I think he will unite the dressing room. I think he'll unite the fan base.
When you talk to like people who don't support your club, it's amazing. Like to use one of your terms, you've had a howler.
Yeah.
Because you're so wide of the mark. Like, you know, when you tell me Harry Kane could sign for Chelsea, and I'm just like, mate, you're
I know.
You're just not getting it. You're just not. It would be like if I said to you, but the Glazers do a good job. They spend money. The Glazers spend loads of money for you. They bought Pogba. They bought.
No, but what
but you know when the point is, you knowing your club, you know when somebody were to say that, you're just like, mate, you're so wrong.
But
like,
all I've said is I think you'll finish top 4 next season.
And I'm just saying it's so wide of the mark because
if you don't add a few,
to an utter disarray.
Nkunku comes in and scores a load of goals. You tie up defensively.
But that's like
it's not that big an if,
isn't it?
No.
What? Because Chelsea have an excellent track record of bringing in.
There's a Lukaku there as well.
Because Chelsea have an excellent track record of bringing in strikers who land and score goals.
If you actually look at it a bit wider, a club can come out and sign a striker, scores 20 goals and propels them into the Champions League.
Maybe, look, there is a chance that you two are correct, but the feeling among fans, season ticket holders, is like...
No, I know. You're right.
But it's because you've been through the worst season probably since 2005.
But the feeling of the club is based upon not only the players, not only the performances, but just the feeling around the way that the board are operating. But I think
a lot of that has to do with an unknown. There's an unknown to Todd Bowley. There's an unknown
but there's
kind of what's going with Roman Abramovich. We kind of had that evidence that unknown, but you're going to get back there.
We also have a track record under Bowley now to suggest that he hasn't got a clue what he's doing in the transfer market.
True.
So us going, when Nkunku comes in and scores a load of goals. Okay, well, every signing they've made so far suggests that doesn't happen because every single signing, with the exception of Badashile, has been a...
Todd Bowley didn't sign him though, did he?
There's been a fucking...
We'll talk about Chelsea a little bit more later. But what was the rating you gave him?
Well, whatever the lowest...
F
yeah.
minus whatever. Yeah. You, actually.
Yeah.
Unclassified. We don't qualify for a grade.
West Ham.
It's all dependent on that European final.
Yeah.
Remember, we're ranking every team's Premier League.
Yeah, but I can't.
Their Premier League form's been dictated to by the Europe.
Yeah, exactly. I can't separate. So. It would be like going. Well, Manchester City.
Okay, West Ham have won the Europa Conference.
If West Ham win the Europa Conference, I think they've had a B.
If they win that,
they've had an A.
It's an A.
If they win that, they've had an A, and if they lose that, they've had a C.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I don't think it's C. I think a D.
No, getting to a final is big for them.
Yeah.
The Europa Conference League final, I think we have to take that
for them.
Context
it's huge,
and also finishing 14th when you've got Declan Rice and you spend some money on some big players.
They haven't won a trophy since 1980.
I just think
Frank Lampard's dad lifted that trophy. Like they haven't won a trophy since 1980.
It's mad, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Like Frank Lampard Senior lifted their trophy, so they're in a final. They've had the glory of winning a semi-final. That's
Frank Lampard Senior lifted that trophy. Then he had a son in Frank Lampard, had a good footballing career, and then it ended up being the worst manager in the history of the Premier League.
Yep. Man United season, Premier League season rating.
I think it's to me. For me, this is dictate. Or this is hugely impacted by what happens in the FA Cup final. Because if Ten Hag wins the 2 domestic trophies that he competed for, I would say that is a brilliant season. Actually, I would say top 4 and 2 pieces of silverware. I'd give that an A. Actually, I would give that an A. If he wins 1, I will give it a top 4 and the League Cup.
That was a C.
A C. But it's an A or a C, and this is going to be dictated by whether they beat Man City. Because that's the other thing to add to it. It's not only winning the FA Cup, because winning the FA Cup is massive in its own right, but beating Man City to an FA Cup to stop them winning a trophy is just huge. It becomes an A immediately if they do that.
Yeah, can it be an A if you lose 7 to Liverpool, your arch rivals? That's a historic
Can with 2
scoreline.
pieces of silverware and top 4.
I think, bro, you got to remember.
Always tarnishes it.
They've had a
Your
better
predictions
season.
at the start of the season wouldn't have had United in the top 4.
I did. I did.
Anyway, Arsenal.
B. Top 4 for them is fantastic. They should be a Champions League club for all banter purposes.
Do you know
whatever.
what?
Aside,
Do you
they
know-
are a Champions League club.
They should have had an A season, but they haven't had an A season.
No.
If they'd done a little bit more in very winnable fixtures, they would be having an A season. Because I could have given them an A if Man City won the league on the final day. You know, if Manchester City had to beat Brentford to win the Premier League and they ended up nicking that game 2-1 and Arsenal pushed them all the way and Arsenal ended the season on 88 points or whatever, you go, do you know what? Arsenal have had an A season. They weren't good enough. Man City were too good, but it's an A for Arsenal. But they capitulated,
I think
mate.
it's a B.
Bottled it.
It's a B at best, mate. It's a B at best.
B at best.
Get your ratings in the comments or wherever you're watching or listening to this. Those are our ratings and our grades for everyone's Premier League season.